The Buffalo Bills for the last couple of years have been a popular pick to win the Super Bowl, and for the last couple of years they have not been able to live up to those expectations. They go to the postseason and they always seem to disappoint. And that brings me to the question, has the Buffalo Bills Super Bowl window closed? I had a friend of mine who asked me this, and I'm going to say this. I don't believe in that whole Super Bowl window nonsense, because there's no such thing as a Super Bowl window. Prime example was when the freaking Cincinnati Bengals went to the Super Bowl in 2021. You mean to tell me that you saw that coming? Hell no. Prime example why the Super Bowl window thing doesn't exist, and it doesn't matter. Any team is capable of being able to win the Super Bowl any given season. And I think as long as you have Josh Allen, you're always going to have a shot at being able to win the Super Bowl. And I do think that the Buffalo Bills shouldn't be scoffed over. They shouldn't be overlooked. Everybody's excited about the Baltimore Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals and the Miami Dolphins. But the Buffalo Bills, I think some people are kind of a little bit low on due to the fact that they haven't really lived up to the high expectations that many people in the national media have given them for the last couple of years. But don't let that disappointment from the last couple of years make you forget that the Buffalo Bills still have one of the best rosters in the NFL. You're going to have Von Miller coming back fully healthy. This dude was a menace before he went down that season getting injury last year. Then you sign Leonard Floyd to put on the opposite side of him, Gregory Rousseau. This dude is going to break out eventually. You got Ed Oliver, one of the better defensive tackles in the NFL. You were able to re-sign Matt Milano. Yeah, you took a couple of losses. You lost Tremaine Edmonds in free agency. But I mean, you still have a damn good defense. Leslie Frazier is no longer the DC. Sean McDermott is going to be taking over as the play caller on the defensive side of the football, which this is somebody who has a lot of experience calling plays on the defensive side of the ball. So I don't think there's going to be too much of a drop off on defense. It's just that this defense doesn't show up in big moments in the postseason. When Buffalo's defense needs to get a stop in the playoffs against great teams and great quarterbacks like Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes, oftentimes, like always, they come up short. And I really think that they were banking on Von Miller to be that difference maker. If he's able to stay healthy and you get him come postseason time, I definitely think that the Bills' Super Bowl chances increase. I think that the Buffalo Bills are kind of being a little bit overlooked. I do not think that the championship window for Buffalo has closed, because I don't think it exists. Offensively, you got to stop being so overly reliant on Josh Allen, and Josh Allen has to take way better care of the football. This dude is way too loose with the football at times, and the thing with Josh Allen is really weird. He plays really good when he's behind, but when he's ahead, that's when he gets loosey-goosey with the football. You can't have that happening when you're trying to be a Super Bowl caliber football team, and part of the reason for that is because Buffalo doesn't have a dominant run game. And you don't need a dominant run game to win the football, but you at least need to be able to run the football when you want to. And that's something that Buffalo hasn't been able to do outside of relying on Josh Allen. I don't think they need another receiver to solidify their chances to win the Super Bowl, although getting DeAndre Hopkins or another option to pair alongside of Stephon Diggs would be nice. I don't think Gabe Davis is bad. I don't think he's overrated. I just think that a lot of people in the fantasy football community were gassing up Gabe Davis just a little bit too much. You got Dalton Kincaid out of Utah. I watched a lot of him when he was playing for Utah. This dude could be a really big asset for Buffalo. Although I don't think he's going to have a great rookie season, because not too many good tight ends just hit the ground running in their first years outside of Kyle Pitts. You do have Dawson Knox still. I'm a big believer in James Cook. This dude is going to be a do-it-all back. Not only is he going to be really explosive with the football, but I also think he's going to be a phenomenal threat in the passing game, which is something that you didn't get out of Devin Singletary all that much. The offensive line slightly improved. So I don't think that the Buffalo Bills Super Bowl window has closed. I don't think there's anything called a Super Bowl window. I don't think that exists. I just think that that's some national media made nonsense that people use for talking points. the Buffalo Bills should most definitely be taken serious in the Super Bowl conversation. Although you may not be as high on them like teams like the Miami Dolphins and the Bengals and the Ravens, like they most definitely are still one of the most talented teams in the AFC, and they are being a little bit overlooked. I think that a lot of people are relying too much on the fact that they kind of disappointed the last couple of years when they were everybody's favorites to make it out of the AFC, and the fact that they've been unable to dethrone Kansas City and Cincinnati kind of has given people a sour taste in their mouth when it comes to the Buffalo Bills. But I definitely think that this team is more than equipped of being able to win the Super Bowl. They got a good coaching staff. They got a phenomenal roster. I'm not counting out the Buffalo Bills. Even though I'm not as high on them as compared to other teams in the AFC, I do think that they are more than capable of being able to win a Super Bowl. And as long as Josh Allen remains the QB, I think that the Buffalo Bills are always going to be in that Super Bowl conversation. And I recently said that I think that Joe Burrow is better than Josh Allen, and I stand on that. I'm not apologizing for that, and I'm not changing on that until Josh Allen shows me otherwise. But that doesn't mean that Josh Allen still isn't an elite quarterback. He's still one of the best QBs in the game. He's still arguably the third or second best QB in a lot of people's eyes. So regardless of how loosey-goosey he gets with the football, like this dude is damn near unstoppable at times. And Buffalo is really hard to stop when Josh Allen is playing his best football. So I think that the Buffalo Bills Super Bowl window has not closed. I think that they more than have a great chance at being able to capture their first ever championship in franchise history. But let me know, do you guys think that the Super Bowl window has passed for the Buffalo Bills? One thing that I do feel is that, like, the Buffalo Bills did miss a great opportunity to win the Super Bowl and make it out of the AFC, because prior to last year, the AFC was not as talented and loaded as what it is now. Now you got Trevor Lawrence, who is pretty much on the brink of becoming a top 3 QB, top 5 quarterback in the game. You got Aaron Rodgers with the New York Jets now. I think he's going to shake back and have a great season for New York. You got the Miami Dolphins, who, as long as Tua can stay healthy, they're going to be in that conversation. They improve their defense. There are a lot of talented teams in the AFC. We didn't even get to the AFC North. You got the Ravens, who are going to be in that conversation. You got the Cleveland Browns, who could be a dark horse contender. Pittsburgh is starting to come up. Cincinnati's still there. We know about Kansas City. So for the Buffalo Bills, they really did miss a peak opportunity when it was really just the Kansas City Chiefs and then the Buffalo Bills and everybody else. Now the AFC is just so stacked and loaded that I think that a lot of people kind of are starting to forget about Buffalo, because everybody's just so interested in the new good teams that's coming out. You know, when there are teams like Jacksonville that haven't had a lot of success in a long time, people are quick to hop on that bandwagon. Then you already know about the Joe Burrow stands out there. I'm one of them, and I'm proud to be one. You got Lamar Jackson, who, when he's healthy, the Ravens are always in contention for the 1 seed. So for the Buffalo Bills, I'm not going to say that the Super Bowl window for them has closed, but they definitely did miss a prime opportunity to take advantage of the AFC West when it wasn't as talented as what it was now.